Welcome back. This is my trio melee commentary. And here I'm just gonna go over the setup a little bit. So I want to avenge him because I don't actually carry death runes into Maiden, and then yeah, I'm able to get full void and ZCB and Lightbearer and Godbook into the raid. And because I'm melee, I don't pot share either, which means my rune situation changes a little bit from that range VOD. I now can carry law runes in the pouch, which allows me to spellbook swap before emptying the ring, like I do here. We're waiting for a ranger, and then in this particular fight, I drop my pots inside the room. The other thing being melee, you don't get targeted by Maiden Splat, so I can charge the ring whenever. Obviously, I shouldn't have taken that blood there. But pretty much here for melee on Maiden, probably shouldn't have spell swapped there, but you want to make sure that you're. So Mochi was supposed to swing on that crab there, but for some reason he's swinging on the Maiden, so that's why question mark about that RG. Again, yeah, you can pretty much always stack, so we still go for the stack here. And yeah, we're just clamping Maiden. It's ridiculous. But then you go for the 2, and the 2, and we fucking nuked it. And then you go clean up the rest of the crabs. So here, because I didn't beat Jess, I got Death Charge, which is going to allow me to get a ZCB spec at the end of the raid. You don't want to worry too much about death charging before the room starts, because oftentimes I'll end up running out anyways, and it's just a lot less time waiting around if you death charge in the room. Call there with the nasty clicks. And me over here, I got venged a 60. So right now is actually the point where I should go pick up my stuff, but I'm a bit too worried about venging Coral, and it was a little bit too fast for me. But luckily, it is really annoying when you drop your runes, they always come up on the top. So what you really want to do is drop your runes on like a different tile. But yeah, as you can see, pretty far behind, but luckily able to catch up. Well, something you can do here, yeah, you can put on ZCB, and this way you have an open inventory slot, and I can uncharge my Sing. And now I just have to spell swap like that, and then I'll be able to cast my throw. Like I do right there. I forgot to put my bolts on though, unfortunately, so I tried to shoot it Bloat without the right ammo in my quiver. But yeah, I do a few shots from the corner, and I drop the super comet there so that I can put on my scythe, but then I decided to just fill up my Sang again. Here, I'm pretty late with the Chally, but because I'm 121 HP, I'm pretty much always able to get the Chally, Foresight Chally. I think in this particular case, ended up Challying after he went down, so it would have been better if I did a Claw Scratch, actually. As you can see there, I got a 37 Chally as a max hit, and that's because I Challied on half damage. Basically, I was so late that he was walking by the time I was Challying. So you don't want to do that, but maybe stay a little bit closer to the boss before you run in for that first Chally. And then again, just to start with the claw here, we get a nice easy 119 or something. Yeah, pretty much always a 2 down for Bloat. But yeah, time is of the essence. Let's see, our money rate, you want to maximize your raids per hour. So here, I think an angler in the room, or no, an angler there, yeah. I always try and eat an angler. And then I want to fix my inventory while I'm running. I try and have like a 3-way mage there. And then you see in the bottom left, those are all the items that I plan to drop for my runes. And then the divine I usually drop as well in the room. If you drop them in the room, then you can pick them up as the boss is dying. It can be very helpful. Sometimes I just forget to drop or pick them back up. Don't forget to drop them, but And yeah, it does make me a little late to these first melees here, but works out. And then yeah, on melee roll, honestly, don't really know what I'm doing. Pretty much I just try not to lose ticks. And yeah, here I go for the drop, and then uncharge the runes. So like I could get more inventory space by putting the law runes back in, but the other thing I usually do is pick up the sharks towards the end of the kill and use them like after the waves are done before the boss spawns and eat them. But yeah, here you actually, if you're free, you want to try to mage the big there. Yeah, and then here, just mailing. You leave that melee aggro because that way you don't stall at all in the early waves, and then you kill it after this little melee guy. After I kill this melee guy, I always go for the aggro. Noodling there, so I gotta kill it earlier. But get back on the little guy, and then yeah, pretty much just clean all your crabs. Try not to drop ticks. Hover where those like bigs have died, so that as soon as the small spawn from the bigs, you're ready to kill them. And yeah, there we go. Do a little bit of maging, a little bit of melee. Pretty much that east big melee on wave 20 is my responsibility because that's my scythe. Unlucky. Yeah, usually I want to get that south scythe, but I was just like I said, don't really know what I'm doing in melee, so I did not realize that that was the wave we're on. And then here you wanna scythe your bigs as soon as possible. Unfortunately, do a little bit of noodling. I don't know why I didn't swift that. Oh, maybe I realized that it was in venge range, and then it didn't venge me, but then it did venge me. I think I want to chuck on another venge here. So the other thing, as you're doing waves, like obviously it's nice not to try and attack every 3 ticks with a swift, but you also want, as best you can, to try and venge as much as possible. I also don't swift those, and I usually just clean them up because different rangers sometimes. Also, all this time I'm not putting on my defender, which is really bad. But so there, I just clicked the top one because the top one is always the newest, and the bottom one exploded. That's why I didn't scythe those. Uh, and yeah, like I said, I picked up the sharks there, so I just have the Jurist and the book of darkness. Here, I'm trying something a little new, or a little different, which probably isn't ideal, but it's because I have ZCB, I can ZCB and Charlie, so I decided to, um, there, I should have gone for the ZCB. I think because I don't ZCB there, it never goes back to range. Yeah, and I end up having to claw, but if I had I could have ZCB'd there because I had the light bear on, and that regens your spec faster. Um, but yeah, if you have the light bear on with the boss and you Chally on the first tick, it's like it spawns. You can do Chally Scythe, and then it put on the light bear the same tick you Chally, so you Chally with altar, but you start regenerating your spec. Then basically the way it works is if it goes melee, mage, then range, you get your spec back in time to ZCB on the last tick that it's range. But it did do exactly that, but it just did not ZCB it there, unfortunately. And then yeah, Sotetseg is um, a little annoying because again you have to move fast. So on melee roll, you're pretty much defaults 1-2, but you have to move fast between rooms, and so now I don't have my runes out from my ring, but I'll get them here, and it works out. So still get the throw up with 73% of the boss left to go. Yeah, you pretty much want to avenge your entire HP bar if you can, because you don't skip the maze at all. Here, I really am slow at the maze. I think you can start moving a tick faster than I did, but Yeah, you pretty much want to one-tick the maze, and sometimes if it's left and you don't have comms, you'll wait a tick because people tend to be slower when they're running to the left, but not so much the right, uh, because in the human brain you have to run like backward, and you always want to like it's confusing to like be running backward in the human brain. So going left for people off the spawn a little harder. The other thing you can do with like with the giant ball is if you do get it launched at you and you have a decent amount of HP, you can try healing one of your teammates and then tick eating it, and that way you don't waste HP on the ball, and hopefully your teammate who got healed then uses that HP to avenge. There I T because now I'm over 50 HP, so I don't get chance there. Uh, and I probably shouldn't avenge myself there. I should avenge Moji, but here he heals me, so it works out. Unfortunately, I don't think it throws a ball at me. Like, it does throw a ball, but I think it's already dead. I don't know, maybe the venge kills it. Who knows? So this is why you bring the book. If you God book, and this is much more effective in money fours, but basically with the light bearer and the God book and the ZCB, you can time your spec region so that you can hammer with the altar on, and you don't have to like enter the door on any specific tick because you just time when your spec starts regening with the ring switch, because whenever you switch your ring, it like stops. So now, because I have only the law runes, as opposed to in the range of I had to empty the whole ring here. So I put the altar on there because you want to put the altar on at 85% spec and at 10.2 seconds into the room. If you put it on at like 10.8, 11.4, it's still perfectly fine. Um, but yeah, as I was saying, because I have law runes in the pouch, I just have to uncharge this thing. You'll see that in Verzik. So I only drop 2 brews because on P1 and P2 you only really need thrills. Um, don't need venge, but so I just uncharge the thing for bloods, and that's enough runes for spellbook swap and stall without uncharging the ring, which can be very useful. Or yeah, spellbook swap and thrall. Uh, and yeah, trio. You also know that the last exhume has spawned when it's the timer hits like 1 minute. So this is the last exhume. So I spawn my throw over spellbook swap. If you have Grandmaster Diaries done, you don't ever have to respellbook swap. But yeah, so I save my hammer here because um, and then I lost a tick because I couldn't find my BGS. The reason I didn't BGS right away there is because I had God booked, and so we agreed that I was going to save my spec um, for the ZCB if we got it 0 with only 5 specs, that being 3 hammers and 2 BGSs. But yeah, I think 2 out of the 5 or so trios we did here, I did actually get to save, and that's just a free 110 ZCB is very good on Xarpus. But yeah, with like 3 people with max hit of 50 and 2 thralls, Xarpus is pretty much always like 2-3x as long as it gets low enough. I don't know what I think I lost a tick there when I BGS'd. I think Carl here lost a tick at some point. So I think so. Now we're on the same tick. When it screeches, you just want to make sure you notice that it screeches and run over to the other side. And then, yeah, again here, if I had Grandmasters, I wouldn't have to rethrall there. Once I rethrall, I'm able to drop my blood runes, and so now I'm ready to pick up my brews, like I do here. And then in trios, the boss is pretty much, the Verzik is pretty much never longer than 5 minutes, so you can divine there and take the staff. Here I'm on a west side, and I'm going to drop just a brew and a restore because I just have to uncharge my saying. I don't have to uncharge the ring for thralls. So got my thralls for P1, and then you want to make sure you're wearing your light bear as well. But I think I do 2 swings with the Ultor, and then put on my light bear here, and then do Dawn and Scythe again, and then Dawn pre-fire. You want to Dawn first there instead of doing 3 Scythes in that Dawn, because then it starts your spec regenning sooner, especially if you don't have light bear. That's really important. And then here, yeah, I recharged the Sang. I'm really kind of trolling with the whole recharge, uncharge. If I had used that little button on the area there, I could have clicked fill. I think I actually took the staff early. Someone else had a spec before us. I should have let someone else spec before me. So here, yeah, you want to brew up to full and spellbook swap. And then I also, unfortunately, messed up my super combat. I dropped it, so I did 1 scythe without super combat, and then I wasn't able to boac at all. But it worked out. Weren't many crabs in the room, and yeah, in trio boac is a little less required. It's still really good, but the crabs do less damage, and there's less of them compared to force. It's just a lot less chaotic in trio than force. Um, it's quite interesting how some mechanics of the rooms legit get easier as you scale down the raid, as you have less people in the raid, when you would think like most things get harder. So there, you want to watch the HP really closely. If it's about to proc, she won't bounce on the tick that she procs, so sometimes you can get an attack off on. So I think I dropped the super combat there because I intend to spellbook swap still, walking to it. It's not the best to do that during runs because you should be trying to 5-tick on the crams as much as you can, but it doesn't really matter that much. And here you just do your little wait. I think I attacked on the wrong tick. When you do get bounced, it's really good to flick your range prayer in case she throws a green ball, but you also want to get back to your mage prayer before the next auto. So you flick the range prayer after the auto, after she bounces, and then you flick back to mage after 2, before the second auto after she bounces. Here I'm spell swapping to do another thrall cast, and that thrall will last until the end of the raid. Nice little melee there. Good venge by Coral. And even tell him good venge. Here is Boac P3 executed perfectly. That 14 there was just from Verzik's range attack. But yeah, Carl doing his poggest, just stepping in under the boss. But yeah, pretty much just run around the boss, scythe a few times. Everyone's seen run webs, but yeah. Here, I just dump claws because I'm trying to proc the purples. If you proc the purples before she does 1 auto, it resets the attack counter, and that way you have the maximum amount of time to kill her before yellows. I think we would have killed her before yellows here, but that melee killed me. So unfortunately, we don't get it. But it's okay. Usually, you just get it like the first hit spot after yellows in trio. Should never get green ball at all in trio. And yeah, even with that death, I still got PB on the overall time, and definitely shows that you can use Ring of Shadows without lollygagging between rooms. But I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really trying to like intentionally go quick with putting the runes in and out of the patch. Yeah, thank you again for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.